Toilet paper is a simple item that is very important in modern day life. These days, we take it for granted and it is often overlooked. And sometimes we overlook it by so much that we forget to even buy it when we're running out. Yep, we've all been there. Luckily, I got a pressure washer on hand that I can use as a substitute. Anyway, toilet paper is relatively cheap, readily available, and has one purpose, and that is to keep your bumhole clean. What would we do without it? Well, unfortunately, we found that out about 5 years ago. So now it's time to hop in my time machine and rewind time back to March of 2020. But first, before I get into this video, I have to give a shout out to Internet Historian. He did a video on this topic about 5 years ago, and I mean, it's got like 12 million views. I'm sure you've all seen it already, but I've always wanted to cover this topic on my channel, so there'll be a link to his video in the description. Anyway, the date is Friday the 13th of March 2020. What could go wrong? Well, it's funny you ask, because the answer to that question is everything. Now, you may not remember, but about 5 years ago there was a virus going around or something, and over the next 2 years my home city of Melbourne spent 263 days in lockdown. But that's not what this video is about. This is the story of the toilet paper turmoil of 2020. Now, these were uncertain times, and nobody really knew what to do. I mean, we even had the Hood Council stressing.
The virus, jackass! Stop touching niggas with your hands!
But when you lock a bunch of people in their houses for months on end, they start to go a little crazy. And combine that with the fact that there's absolutely nothing going on in the world besides this pandemic, giving the media nothing important to report on, basically anything will make a news story. But we'll come back to that in a little bit. Now, when this pandemic first kicked off, the demand for these blue surgical masks absolutely went through the roof. And in early February of 2020, there was a rumour spreading around social media in Hong Kong and Singapore that the toilet paper factories in mainland China had stopped making toilet paper and started focusing on making masks instead. Now, what I assume was a lack of important news to drown this rumour out caused it to spread like wildfire, and this caused people to panic, and shops across China were emptied of toilet paper overnight. In Hong Kong, there was even a group of knife-wielding bandits who robbed a truck full of toilet paper, reportedly stealing 600 rolls. Now, naturally, simply due to the absurdity of this situation, this made news globally, and especially here in Australia. And with the photos of the empty shelves in Hong Kong spreading like wildfire, to throw some toilet paper on the already burning fire, on the 4th of March, a B-double semi-trailer loaded full of toilet paper caught fire on Brisbane's Gateway Bridge. Apparently it was caused by a mechanical fault and wasn't due to foul play, but roughly half the cargo was destroyed. And the Australian media doing what they're good at, which is making a fart sound like a hurricane, the rumour that Australia was inevitably going to run out of toilet paper was set fully in motion. But the funny thing about this is in Australia, all of our toilet paper is made locally, because it's actually cheaper to do it here than it is to import it overseas. And the same story basically goes with every other country. Everyone makes their own toilet paper locally because it works out cheaper. Now, a quick Google search would have put this rumour to bed. But obviously, a person is smart, but people are stupid. And thanks to the media drumming it up for views as per usual, this rumour, which was false by the way, spread like wildfire and caused people to panic. What you're watching here is security footage of the toilet paper aisle in an Aldi store on the 8th of March 2020 in Melbourne, Victoria. And this was happening all over the country. Stores would open, people would rush in, take all the toilet paper, and there'd be nothing left. Stupid, right? I agree. But there was a problem. All of us normal people who knew that there wouldn't be a shortage of toilet paper now couldn't walk into the store and buy a roll because the shelves had already been emptied. So now there actually was a shortage of toilet paper because of a false rumour and the idiots who acted on it. So now everybody had to do the same thing, joining the queue, hoping for the best, and if you're lucky, you'd walk out with a roll or two. And the media was saying the same thing. They were telling people not to go out and panic buy, but then showing footage of the empty shelves at the same time, implying that there was no toilet paper left, therefore a shortage. And this got so bad that major retailers and toilet paper manufacturers had to come out and clarify that there was in fact enough toilet paper to go around. They just couldn't get it to the shops fast enough before it sold out. And with all this rubbish going on at once, people simply just had no idea what to do, and it started to push people to the edge. Now, you've all seen the footage. If someone had told me, even in 2019, that I'd see 3 middle-aged women fighting over a 12-pack of Quilton on national TV, I'd have called you crazy.
What are you, a nut? Did I let you out the nut house today, old man?
But yes, that did happen. But that wasn't the only piece of anarchy that this stupid toilet paper shortage caused. Now, obviously there was the violent aspect, but another thing that skyrocketed was theft. Since people couldn't buy toilet paper off the shelves, they had no options but to steal it from somewhere else. And the first target, of course, was public toilets. There were several councils throughout Australia that had to put out notices urging the public to stop stealing the toilet paper out of their public toilets. But I mean, it is public, so it's not really theft. But anyway, reports of people stealing toilet paper from work, school, or even businesses was also starting to be reported. Now, at this point, the word had spread even further, and in America, criminals were breaking into cars to steal toilet paper. But back in Australia, the criminals had figured something out. This could be quite profitable. Supply and demand is simple economics. If there's less of something, you can just charge more for it. What are people gonna do? Buy it from somewhere else cheaper? That's just not an option. And this toilet paper debacle was the perfect opportunity for this unethical way of making some quick money. The tactic was basically to go to the supermarket and punch on with everyone else and get your hands on as much toilet paper for cost price as possible. Then bring it home, add it to your massive collection and list it straight on Facebook Marketplace, eBay, Gumtree, or anywhere else where all the poor schmucks who missed out would look first when they need to buy some. Or if $10 for a 12-pack was too high of a barrier of entry for you, just do what this man in Sydney did and steal 400 rolls of toilet paper. That way, every dollar that you make is instant profit, but just don't get caught like he did, because then you won't make any money. Now, this is called price gouging, a technique of making quick money that Coles and Woolworths have become pretty good at in recent years. But unfortunately, price gouging is illegal. So eventually, eBay, Amazon, Facebook Marketplace, and all other similar websites started taking down these listings for toilet paper. But that's really it for our unethical money-making tactics, because this got shut down pretty quickly, which leads us into our next segment. Now, at this point, it had been going on for about a month or two, and people were just getting sick and tired of it. It was a needless waste of time and money, and the toilet paper overlords decided to press the big red button. No, not the subscribe button. If you've watched this far in the video, you would have pressed it already, but the big red stop button. It was time to end this stupid shit. Now, supply was never an issue. It was just the fact that they couldn't get it to the supermarkets fast enough before everyone bought 15 12-packs each. But at this point, there was many more options than just toilet paper to wipe your ass with. We had this special edition of the NT News that printed a bunch of empty pages at the back just for you to wipe your bumhole with. And then, of course, if you go to any politician's office, they have pamphlets at the front which they usually give out for free. So it's safe to say people got creative. So basically what had happened at this point is everyone had bought 1 million rolls each, realised that they don't actually take 14 shits a day, then realised they can't sell it all for a profit because it's not allowed anymore, and then thanks to the supermarket shelves being full again and not accepting returns on toilet paper, combined with new companies like this one, Who Gives a Crap, who delivers toilet paper to your home directly, over the next few months people slowly worked their way through their new toilet paper collection, one shit at a time. The Kimberly-Clark stock prices slowly settled back down to normal, and that was the end of the toilet paper tomfoolery. Or was it? You see, the toilet paper tomfoolery of 2020 was ingrained into people's minds. So pretty much every time there was a new lockdown, this stupid shit would kick back into gear. Here's a news story from June 2021, almost a year and a half after the original toilet paper tomfoolery occurred, causing supermarkets to reinstate their buying limits, which I forgot to mention earlier. So now pretty much every time something major happens, like a flood, bushfire, or I don't post a video for a month, everyone starts to panic, heads out to the supermarket and just buys all the toilet paper. And apparently between the 1st and the 3rd of March 2024, thieves broke into the Peekaboo Distribution Centre, which is a brand that does things like luxury bamboo toilet paper, and stole nearly 3,000 rolls of this luxury toilet paper. Now there's not too much information on this because apparently the CCTV wasn't working or something, but like what's the point? But there was a few good things to come out of of all this. First off, it was extremely entertaining. We got to see some shit straight out of Worldstar in our local supermarkets broadcasted on live TV, and in a rare show of compassion, Quilton, the Australian toilet paper brand, put aside shareholder profits in a time where they would have been making the most money ever and gave out almost 1 million rolls of toilet paper to Australians who couldn't get their hands on any. I also found a statistic that says that there was 39.7 million rolls of toilet paper bought in just 1 week at the peak of this utter tomfoolery. And since everybody was locked down, had nowhere to drive to except the supermarket to punch on for toilet paper, petrol was dirt cheap and you could fill a tank up for almost normal prices again. So now it almost seems nostalgic. Anyway, that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys in the next one.